auto
I'm
speakers.
going to push mute though. Mute yourself when you're not talking.
Okay, fine.
Hello, everybody. On behalf of International Music Premier League, IMPL, Carnatica Global, and Global Arts Temple, USA, we welcome you all to another day of Sansar Sangeet Utsav, the first ever Pan World Music Festival online. Today, we have a wonderful session now, which is going to be an interaction with some of the live artists who perform for us. We've had some wonderful bands who have been featured from different parts of the world. And first of all, let me introduce my friend, Professor Mark Stone from the Oakland University. He is from the Stone Sound Collective. And not only that, he is a wonderful musician whom I've been working for nearly now 15 years. And he's a composer, performer par excellence, a multi-percussionist, jazz artist. He has performed far and wide in African countries, Uganda, Ghana, South Africa. He's performed with Indian musicians in India. He's performed in Ecuador and, of course, in the United States. So what I would like to say about Professor Mark Stone is his very innovative approach, his effort in sound collection, stone collection also is basically a stone sound collective. What they try to do is he has tried to bring in an amalgamation of cultures from different parts of the world and also showcasing artists and musical instruments from different parts, mixing the traditional and the modern. He plays himself right now is the newly invented Array Mbira, which is a very, very beautiful instrument. I've had the pleasure of performing along with him. He's a composer who also has created several unique pieces. And working with him is always a pleasure because he tries to learn every single culture as per the tradition, and he never compromises. The effort that goes in is no compromise, and that's what makes him very special. In this festival, what is his role? Apart from just being a performer, he has brought together some wonderful friends and beautiful performers who've all performed for us, and we're going to be hearing one of them today, the piece in La Tierra, an Ecuador jazz band, which is going to be performing very shortly. And our friends from the band, Caio, and we also have Carlos, percussionist par excellence, and the bass player, Caio, who have joined from there. Welcome to the show. It's a pleasure having you. I would also like to welcome Haruna, another friend who is actually right now on his way from another concert with his band. They are from the Nile Beats artist, the group which gave us the wonderful presentation on day one of our festival. They gave us absolutely amazing music from the Africa. It's a beautiful group which brought in some wonderful presentation that we all enjoyed. I think we got overwhelming response for that. We also have the Saakumu group, which was coordinated by another wonderful person, Griffin Brady, who's also here. He's coordinated a lot of these shows around the world and is a very integral part of bringing the world together. Thank you, Griffin, for doing that and bringing together these wonderful musicians. And of course, my dear friend, Matt, who's a wonderful wind instrument player, who plays various instruments, right from the saxophone. He could play trumpets, Of course, he started now playing Nadaswaram, the Indian instrument. Kudos to Matt for, again, uh, taking up different wind instruments from different cultures, trying it out. Um, and I've had wonderful experiences with all these artists. I would now leave it to Mark Stone, Professor Mark Stone, to speak a little bit about all these groups. And of course, we are all waiting for his own presentation in the Stone Sound Collective. So over to you, Mark.
Thank you, Sasikaran. And thank you, Carnatica, for organizing Sansar Sangeet Utsav. This is a really exciting festival, and it's a great opportunity to bring together my friends from around the globe. Actually, the countries coming together, Uganda and Ghana, Ecuador, India, and the United States are the places that I travel the most and have had the opportunity to collaborate with many times people from these countries. And so it's exciting for me to be on this call with my friends from around the globe. And I appreciate your work, Sashi, in bringing all of these varied cultures together. And I think through your festival, we can see the beauty in all the different art forms that we represent, but we can also see the many wonderful ways that we are actually all connected as one humanity. And I hope that in the future we can actually do this festival in person in India. It would be so wonderful for us to all travel there to present for the great informed audiences in India, the wonderful Rasikas. I love performing in India because when I perform in India, I feel the audience is totally paying attention and totally in tune. Sashi has told me that's what the word Rasika actually means. So thank you all the Rasikas in India for supporting this great festival.
The idea of this festival, actually, thank you, Mark, for that beautiful introduction. The idea of this festival itself is that in India, I wanted many of the music lovers to enjoy artists from different parts of the world. Some of them they've never seen or heard. So I thought it was a wonderful opportunity for them to witness the best of world music um, here from wherever they are in India, and also for Indian artists to connect to the world. So there are wonderful artists from India who have not performed in many of these countries. So I thought this will be a beautiful effort to bring in the best of artists from both India and from the world in one festival. And this is an effort that we should be integrating world music together. And this is something that Mark and I have been already speaking for the last few years. We've been planning something like this. And I'm glad that though the pandemic has made it a virtual event, yes, the virtual event has also made it global and not just restricted to Indian audience. So I would look at it from a very positive way that we are able to reach out to the world. And hearing some of these artists perform, I can tell you that they are the best of the best. So we've had wonderful teams, and they've all brought in such a diverse system, and it's been exciting to have all of them. I'm going to ask each of the band leaders, so to say. I'll start out with Haruna, my friend, whom I've had an opportunity to perform, and he's a wonderful musician and a great person. Haruna, can you share a little bit about your work and what you've been doing? Yeah, you can unmute yourself, Haruna. Yeah. Go ahead.
Thank you very much, Sashi, and all your colleagues. I must say it has been a wonderful to be part of this global festival. As Nile Beats, we have been in existence for 31 years now as a troupe. We have had engagements both and also in 2018 and 2019 celebrate our independence. So we had an opportunity to to perform our music in India, but of course not to a very big community like this opportunity which you offered to us. I must appreciate and thank you very much. I know how much it takes, the effort to put all this together, but I know you can always pull it off because you have been in this for a longer time. I can't forget the time we met with you in the USA, and that was really quite a memorial time for me. I can't forget. So yes, in Uganda, we try. We are one of the very big cultural troops in the country, but we are limited by many things. We have got the material, we have got the works, we have got these treasures, just like you saw them in our performances. But the common problem that most artists will have, the funding. You have your idea, you have been nursing for a long time, you want to put it up, but of course you are limited with the resources. Because we have got the brain, we have got so many cultural groups across the country. And you know, Uganda is one of those countries which are so much treasured with a very wide and diverse cultural range. So we have got different dances, music across the country, just from one region to another. And some time back, we used to have a festival, which we used to call a Muvangano. Mark Stone knows about this. We also had one called Senator Cultural Festival. This was being sponsored by a beer company. But of course, you know, as a business company, they can always change their policy. They can always change their game plan. So we were put off for some time now, about 5 years. We are not having any festival, but it was a good idea because you bring these artists together, you share the experience, you learn from one another, and you have got a common voice in a way, and also helping one another in one way or the other. So we are privileged that we've been in existence for this long. Personally, I have traveled quite well globally in the USA, United Kingdom, Denmark, Sweden, but also as a troupe, we have traveled India, Sweden, Algeria. We represented Uganda at the Pan-African Cultural Festival. We have also been to the UK, traveling with our king here of Busoga, His Royal Highness, the Chabazingo of the people of Busoga here, where the troupe is based. So we are, when we come in collaboration with people like you, Sashi, well, it's a dream coming true. We are very honored and humbled that we can interact with such a wide audience and be viewed by so many people who are who share the same field with us.
Yes, absolutely amazing, Haruna. Your work and your team's work is amazing. I know the funding around the world has been a little bit of a difficult situation, but it's all going to change. The idea of these World Music Festival is to somehow make the world watch the groups from different parts of the world. And of course, we are going to try and see how best we can all work towards getting better in terms of the economic situation as well for the artists performing from different parts of the world. So I hope it'll all come together in a better way. I know you're going for a performance, and it's wonderful for you to have taken time to join. I'm going to next move on to Griffin Brady, who has taken a lot of effort to bring the Saakumu group. I would like you to briefly speak about the Saakumu group and their work. Their show was brilliant yesterday.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate that. As you probably heard from the video, Saakumu is a word in the Dagara language that means tradition. And even though it isn't my tradition, the Dagara traditions have enriched my life tenfold. And I was only 16 years old when I met Mr. Bernard Woma, the leader of the Saakumu dance troupe. And it was at a very vulnerable time in my life, and it changed my life forever. And my first time to Africa in 2004, I was 20 years old, and I met the teachers at the Dagara Music Center, a school that Bernard had founded in Africa. And, I studied with Jerome and Eddie and, traveled around the country. They really took me under their wing. And by the end of my trip, we were already dreaming of the day that we could get Saakumu dance troupe to come to America. And it was 4 short years later in 2008, I bought a short school bus from eBay Motors, And we were able to bring 15 members of the company to America. And we did 99 shows in 49 days. And the word of Saakumu and the power of traditional Ghanaian music, it was bringing people together from all corners of the country. And the word just spread like wildfire. And so every year we were able to bring the group back again and again and again. We even did 2 tours in 2010. And, you know, we continued this work for 12 tours in a row before our leader, the great mentor, Bernard Woma, passed away. And so we were able to do 1 tour after the passing of Bernard before this pandemic took place. And, you know, we're putting our ducks in a row to bring the group back here to continue that legacy and continue this important work, because we've seen firsthand the ability that it has to bring people together and to promote an understanding through world music, and, you know, to give people light in dark times. And I think people will need what Saakumu Dance Troupe has to offer all the more when this pandemic is behind us. And so, you know, thank you so much for the honor of including Saakumu Dance Troupe in your program. I'm seeing messages come in from Africa now. They're trying very hard to join the call. So you might see some of our friends from Ghana here momentarily. But once again, thank you so much for including Saakumu, and we hope to be there with you in person next year.
Sure, thanks. A pleasure again to have featured Saakumu. I know Professor Mark Stone has been talking very, very highly for the work that Bernard Woma has done, and he himself had shared a lot of his experiences when he came to India and when I met him there. So I know the kind of effort that goes in and the great effort that Bernard Woma has put in. I would now move on to the Carlos and Caio group from the jazz from the Ecuador, whom we're going to be listening very shortly now. Let me ask them, you know, their work a little bit. Can you share what they've been doing? And you know, very short while. I know that you're going to be going live soon. Yeah, thank you.
Yes.
Hello, Sashi, and thank you very much to Mark and how our friendship with Mark lead us to meet this great festival. Thanks for inviting Pies en la Tierra to participate. I know there is a great vision behind this festival, which is bringing all of us together. And it has this ingredient very important to all the world, which is the education. So congratulations to all the organizers, Sashi, on this first edition of this great festival. It's an honor for us to be part of this. Mark visited Ecuador probably 4 years ago to a festival we organized in Ecuador. And we were very happy to hear all he had to bring to our country with his instruments, especially with marimba, which he gave us to the school of us, to the Studio de Percusión. This is a school that we run in Ecuador because besides being musicians in our band, we are also educators, and we are very committed to this vision. So going back to the story with Mark, we did a festival where we included world music. We included artists of different kinds of styles. And now we are very happy to meet all this fine list of artists and educator friends on this festival. So thanks. Caio is gonna talk about our music too.
Yes, thank you, Carlos. Thank you, Mark, for
recommending us and always be in contact with us. And well, we play with you here in Ecuador, and it's been great. We had a lot of fun, and that's what this is about. The music that we do is based on Ecuadorian styles and South American styles as well, and Pacific and Andean sort of sounding. In Ecuador, since it's a small country, all the Afro-Ecuadorian plus the indigenous from the Andes are very well mixed, very, because they're very close to each other. So when you play any of these particular styles, even if it's Afro-Ecuadorian or if it's Andean, they have a lot in common. They're already mixed and fusion. So being a jazz player since I was a kid, and we all are here, we tend to connect and tend to promote the mixture of things and the democracy that this gives to the music. You know, everything comes very nice to it. So the approach from jazz was really natural for us to go to the world music styles and mix them all together and use the jazz as a platform. And sometimes we do ethno music, but we improvise on, sometimes with jazz changes and sometimes with not. We just improvise and create from there, and we're really open. So what we do here with this mixture is very democratic. Everything comes in and works naturally, and it has a nice convivence and with us. You know, we can make all this work together. So I'm really happy. Thank you very much for this festival. I'm amazed of all the types of music that come together and also work together as we're trying to always do. So thank you very much for this. We're trying to promote education more and more and share these opportunities, and for our kids to learn about this language that is universal. That's great.
Thank you, Carlos and Caio. We'll be listening to you shortly. I'll quickly call in Matt, my friend. Great, Matt, that you could join, for this festival. I know all of you have recorded virtually. Professor Mark Stone was telling me during the pandemic how it has been very difficult to get all of it together. Just please share, a few sentences to connect to the world on the work that you've been doing. And then we'll have some concluding words from Mark as well on the Stone, Sound Collective.
Thank you, Sashi. It's nice to see you. Thanks to the pandemic, we've now missed 2 Tierra Jazz festivals. So I'm glad that you were able to put this together. I'm a teacher, so I've been, over the course of the last year, trying to meet the demands of my school and my students. It's been very challenging as far as we started last August in school. So we've actually been very fortunate to have really rode out the pandemic for the most part, face-to-face with my students, but I also have students that are virtual, and I have students that are at school half-time. So that has been very challenging to meet all those needs. I was grateful to participate in this because it's given me an opportunity to kind of share what I've been working on, and at least be able to play during the pandemic, which has pretty much been, here it's been pretty much shut down. There haven't been any performances. There haven't been any rehearsals with any of the groups that I've been in. So I haven't really seen, most of my favorite people in person. So this, at least to be able to connect with Mark and Chinalo, to continue to work on our music, that what we've been doing over the, last few years has been nice. Very challenging to record, 7 or 8 songs from your living, studio, your home studio, and videotape and try to put that all together was a very interesting process. I've got some, technical ability, and I had been actually working. We used BandLab, so I had been using that software with my students So I was very, at least familiar with how that works. And I found it was nice to be able to then take to my students and say, hey, this is something that I've been working on. This is the way that you guys have been using the software. Here's how it's the software is being used in a kind of practical application to put together music from three people that aren't in the same room, aren't in the same city for a festival. So it's been very illuminating to try and put all this together, and very challenging as well. But I appreciate everything you've done, Sashi, to put this together, and it's been fun. And I look forward to playing with you again in person, hopefully soon.
Thank you. I would request Professor Mark Stone to conclude with all of our artists, thanking all of you who have joined. Mark, thank you to you. You can talk a little bit and thank all of them, and then we'll wind up and we'll listen to our beautiful band from Ecuador.
Thank you, everyone. And yes, I just wanted to follow up on what Matt said. The performance of Stone Sound Collective that will be aired tomorrow was recorded completely virtually, and I recorded my parts right here. We were not able yet to meet in person. We have not, Stone Sound Collective has not met in person now for well over a year. And we're still keeping the creative energy going. Actually, half of the program is entirely new material that we have not yet played together in person. And I appreciate Matt and Chinalo's work, and I hope everyone will enjoy the presentation tomorrow. And to follow up on what Caio said, as in South America and North America too, jazz is a wonderful art form in which many different traditions can come together. In fact, one could say that jazz is the original world music, with its foundations in African music, and yet playing many instruments from Europe, bringing together many different cultural traditions. And so, as with Caio and Carlos' group, Stone Sound Collective, we have a jazz foundation, but we also have the sensibility of a European chamber music ensemble. And we also have been drawing from the many rich resources from African music. I too was very blessed to study with the great Bernard Woma. That music has inspired our group, as has Haruna's music from Uganda and also music from South Africa. And then finally, not featured in our video, but our larger group includes 2 members from India. And in more recent years, we have been incorporating the very rich language of classical Indian music into the Stone Sound Collective. And so we bring all of these sounds together, but in a way that's very much grounded, as Sashi said, in the traditions, and yet creating something new and something that I hope audiences will enjoy and be able to connect with. And then, as I mentioned, Haruna with the great group in Uganda, Nile Beat artists. In fact, 1 year ago, I was supposed to be in Uganda. I nearly got stuck in Uganda because of the pandemic. I was almost on my way as things shut down. And I mean, my family here wouldn't have been too happy, but I don't know, being stuck with Haruna in Uganda for a year could have been a lot of fun. So anyway, Nile Beat Artists is just a wonderful group. And then finally, I see that we have some members now joining us from Ghana. I don't know, Joseph, if you can share your video, but it is so exciting for me to see. It's so exciting for me to see the work of our great mentor, Bernard Woma, continuing forward. It has been nearly 3 years now since he passed. And watching your video performance yesterday, Joseph, was so inspiring. In fact, our mentor from Ecuador, Marvin Holliday, also tuned in, and he was so excited because he also had the opportunity to perform with Bernard. And we're so proud of you, Joseph and Griffin. We're so proud of the work that you're doing. I know that Bernard is looking down and smiling as you guys continue the great work, Saakumu keeping this wonderful Dagara tradition. And as with our groups in India and Uganda and Ecuador and here in the United States, one thing that is central is the creative process. These groups are not museum pieces. That we're continuing to take this music forward, as Bernard always did, with lots of creativity. And it's so great to see what you're doing, Joseph, in Ghana, and all of you guys. So Sashi, I know you asked me to conclude. I just want to thank everyone. But before we sign off, if we could hear from Joseph now that he has joined the call from Ghana.
Hello, everyone. It is a pleasure to meet you all. And right at this moment, I'm in school. So working at this moment has been very hard for me. But the program I'm doing is kind of like a military program. So I'm being in school full time. But then after some few months, I may be able to be going back home and forth to go help the Dagara Music Center. And my passion for music and dance has grown very much bigger, and I've experienced so much different cultures, and I've been with different people from all parts of the world, and that is really, really great for me as a young dance instructor. And I'm always grateful for the work Bernard led for us, and we hope to keep this work going on.
Thank you all. Thank you all for joining in. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Matt, Haruna, Carlos, Caio, Griffin, and Joseph for joining in. I think we are already live with the jazz band from the Ecuador. Please enjoy this beautiful concert and see you all again. Thank you.